Let me ask you something real. Not something motivational, not something inspirational. Something honest. If comfort feels so good, why does it leave you feeling empty later? Think about it for a moment. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. You promise you'll be more focused next week. You say, I just need a break. And in the moment, it feels fine. Scrolling instead of starting, watching instead of building, planning instead of acting. It feels harmless. It feels relaxing. It even feels deserved. After all, you worked hard today, right? But later that night, when the noise dies down, when the screen goes dark, when you're finally alone with your thoughts, there's that uncomfortable feeling, that quiet, heavy thought you don't like to admit. I wasted another day. And what makes it worse is this. You knew what you were supposed to do. You knew what mattered. You knew what would move your life forward. So why didn't you do it? Why does your brain keep choosing comfort even when you know it's holding you back? The answer isn't laziness, and it's definitely not a lack of motivation. It's psychology. Here's something most people never learn. Your brain did not evolve for success. It did not evolve for fulfillment. It did not evolve to help you reach your potential. Your brain evolved for survival. Thousands of years ago, survival was simple but brutal. If you were comfortable, you were probably safe. If you were still, you weren't being chased. If you stuck to the familiar, you stayed alive. Trying something new meant danger. Exploring unknown territory meant risk. Standing out meant becoming a target. So the brain learned a simple rule: avoid unnecessary effort, avoid unnecessary risk. That ancient survival system kept humans alive. And the problem is, it's still running your modern life. Your brain doesn't understand deadlines, dreams, or long-term goals. It doesn't care about your potential. It doesn't care who you could become. It only understands one thing very clearly. Is this safe or is this risky? And comfort almost always feels safe. This is why growth feels uncomfortable. When you try to improve your life, when you start a new habit, learn a new skill, or step into a new identity, your brain reacts the same way it reacts to danger. Your heart rate shifts, your focus drops, your body tightens, resistance shows up out of nowhere. Not because growth is bad, but because it's unfamiliar, and unfamiliar feels unsafe to the brain. Your brain runs on past data, so if your past includes failure, embarrassment, rejection, burnout, or disappointment, then effort becomes linked with pain. Even if logically you know growth is good for you, your nervous system remembers discomfort. So your brain sends signals: slow down, this feels risky, let's not do this right now. And most people misunderstand this resistance. They think something is wrong with them. But nothing is wrong with you. Your brain is doing its job. It's trying to protect you. Comfort doesn't ruin your life instantly. It ruins it quietly, slowly. Comfort doesn't stop you from doing everything. It just stops you from doing what matters most. Instead of doing nothing, you do easy things. You watch motivational videos. You save productivity posts. You plan endlessly. You feel busy. You feel productive, but nothing actually changes. That's the comfort trap. Your brain loves this zone because it feels like progress without the risk of failure. No rejection, no embarrassment, no chance of discovering you're not ready. Just movement without progress. And people stay here for years, not because they're lazy, but because their brain believes this place is safe. This is why willpower always loses. Willpower is temporary. It depends on sleep, stress, mood, and energy. Comfort is always available. The moment your energy drops, comfort wins. That's why motivation keeps failing. You're fighting biology with inspiration, and biology almost always wins. Over time, comfort becomes identity. You start saying things like, "I'm just not disciplined. I work better under pressure. I'll start when I feel ready." These aren't truths. They're stories your brain creates to justify staying safe. And once identity forms, your brain defends it, even when it limits your future. Because a familiar identity feels safer than an unknown one. This is also why you procrastinate, not because the task is hard, but because the outcome is uncertain. Starting means you might fail, you might not be good, you might waste effort. Comfort delays that risk, and your brain prefers delay over disappointment, even if delay costs you your future. Comfort feels neutral, but it's not. Every avoided action teaches your brain one thing: I don't trust myself. That lesson doesn't hurt immediately. It slowly destroys confidence, quietly. And confidence doesn't return through thinking, it returns through evidence. When you take a small action and survive it, your brain updates. This wasn't dangerous. This person can handle effort. That's how growth becomes safe. Not through massive goals, but through tiny, repeatable actions that don't overwhelm your nervous system. This is where everything changes. Safety is not feeling good right now. Real safety is trusting yourself, building momentum, knowing you can adapt. When action becomes a source of safety, comfort loses its grip. So if you feel stuck, stop blaming yourself. You're not lazy, you're overprotected. Protected by a brain using old data from past stress, past failure, and past burnout. But protection without growth eventually becomes a cage, and cages feel comfortable until you realize you can't move. Change doesn't start with forcing discomfort. It starts with awareness. The next time you choose comfort, don't judge yourself. Ask this instead: what is my brain trying to protect me from? That question turns resistance into information, and information creates control. Your brain isn't broken, it's loyal. Loyal to comfort, loyal to familiarity, loyal to a past version of you. But loyalty can be retrained. This is episode 2 of why your brain is holding you back. And in the next episode, we'll break down something even more frustrating: why you know exactly what to do, but still don't do it. Subscribe, because once you understand the system, you stop fighting yourself and start moving forward.